Ready to go? I don't know if he's online. No. Struggling a little bit. You'll have to answer this one. We got that, right? We'll call to order the regular city council meeting. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Can we begin with roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers. Seeley.
Here.
Davis.
Here.
Oberon.
Here.
Musman.
Here.
Kearns.
Here.
All right. Before we get to is Pat coming?
Should be joining us on.
Oh, he should be online. Okay. Pat, are you online?
Not yet, it doesn't look like.
Doesn't look like? Okay, that's fine. Real quickly before we go, I just wanted to mention one thing. The governor of Iowa did a proclamation in regards to the wastewater workforce of Iowa and all the things that they do to keep things moving on that front. So we wanted to give a special shout out to Bob Milroy and his crew and all his team at the wastewater facility for everything they do. I know they have a huge part of the city and they take all the waste out. And they don't get enough recognition, I don't think, for the job they do. So we appreciate all you do, Bob, and please pass that along to your team.
Any words?
Big speech?
Nothing?
All right. Perfect. All right. Councilmember Musman.
Thank you, Your Honor. I move we approve the minutes of the regular city council and committee of the whole meeting of August 9th, 2022, and they be approved as published on August 23, 2022.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
Musman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
We'll convene a public hearing concerning accepting bids and awarding contract for Moor WIC pump station generator. Have we heard anything in the clerk's office?
We have not, Your Honor.
Is there any citizens in the room or online that would like to address this public hearing? If you're online, *6 will unmute you. Is there any council members that would like to address this public hearing? All right, hearing none, we will close the public hearing. Councilmember Davis.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a resolution accepting bid and awarding contract for the Moor WIC pump station generator. I move that it be approved as read.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on this? Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
Musman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Okay. Moving on to audience comment session. I have 2 yellow cards. The first one I received is Carl Nord. Okay. Come on up to the podium, sir, and then just state your name and your address for the record. The audience comment section, you have 3 minutes, and it can't be a dialogue back and forth from council because the item that you have on here is not on the council agenda. Okay?
Okay. My name is Carl Nord, and I live in Clinton, Iowa, at 803 North 3rd Street. My reason for being here today is I have a petition signed by 91 residents, and the petition reads, "Tell the city to stop the construction of the supportive housing facility for the homeless. The YWCA is planning to build a supportive housing facility for the homeless at 6th Avenue North and 3rd Street, featuring 20 to 24 units. The neighborhood currently is zoned residential. and consists of 90 single-family homes and a Head Start preschool program. By signing this petition, you are telling the City Hall not to rezone the property at 6th Avenue North and 3rd Street. Instead, find an appropriate location not within a residentially zoned neighborhood. And first thing comes to mind, everybody knows, is our property value is going to go down. That is a proven fact. Second thing is, Bluff Boulevard is being widened. It's going to go down from this widening down to a 2-lane there at that intersection. That's a terribly busy intersection. That's a disaster waiting to happen right there. And then, let's see. Well, I have contacted the Iowa Financial Authority in Des Moines, and the head person is Deb Durham with certified mail, and also Mr. Jason Knudsen. But the one thing I'm really upset about is misleading information being put out about this. Number one is the people I've been talking to say that the sheriff's office is going to protect them. That somebody is saying that, hey, the sheriff's office there, they're going to protect you. Well, that's the sheriff's office. That's not the City of Clinton Police. Another one was, this is a public record. And I went to the supervisor's meeting, and Mr. Dan Serp, it's in public record, stated, it's in public record, stated, the people of downtown Clinton do not want a homeless housing project for the homeless. Who is he talking about? The City Council, the First National Bank, the Clinton Herald, or the Downtown Association Circle Box? So I guess I'm really upset about misleading information. And all I can say is that I've got these 91 signatures in a matter of 6 hours, and only 2 hours a night. I can get, I don't know how many more I have to have, but I can get whatever I have. And then also, on your rezoning, this lady over here, she knows that when this is submitted by these people from the YWCA and Supportive Housing, that as soon as they have their first meeting, I would like to be notified so I can be there with some other supporters. I guess my 3 minutes must be about up, I think.
You're fine. Go ahead.
Okay. I just appreciate you listening to me and listen to the 91 people in 6 hours I got. I mean, these people who want this, they don't live there. If I had some people look it up. If I never made as much money as what these people who are supporting this in my lifetime in a year, on a yearly basis. And so they don't live there, they don't care about the people there. And you being the city council, I'm sure you do care about the people in this district. And Mr. Musselman has given me a few pointers and advice, and I appreciate his work. And I thank you very much for your time.
All right. Thank you, sir. Yes, you can.
Has this been set yet for, is there a date set on this for the zoning? Do you know?
Has there been a rezoning hearing?
No, they have not submitted a
Okay.
request.
My point is I want to get it in front of you before
Sure.
it happens, so I can get support with me when this starts.
Okay.
And then say, I've already
And
gone
that-
to the state, I'm going to the federal next, federal level
And
next.
Carl, does the city clerk, Lisa, does she have your petition and your contact information?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
She has, do you have the petitions?
I have not-
You turned it into the city clerk?
Right,
We will have it.
Yep. Yep.
When was it turned in?
just now.
Just this
now.
evening.
Yeah, we
Yep.
will have it.
Okay.
And I've always been told to follow the money. So if you follow the money, you know who's profiting. These people are not doing this out of the kindness and the goodness of their heart. They have a job to do, they're getting paid big bucks to do this. They don't care about the little people. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll quit.
And, no, you're fine. And I would recommend also keeping up on the YWCA because they will announce when those meetings are. They
I've
should.
just written down for him when they are, but we don't know when it's hitting the agenda, so I'm going to give you this.
Okay. Oh, for the zoning meeting? Okay. And all of our meetings are published online the week before, at least, so you'll know the agenda when it's on the agenda.
I'm not computer savvy.
Okay, they're posted downstairs as well, or if you gave a call, we'd be able to tell you what's on the agenda. Okay. All right, thank you, sir. Our next one is Travis Winter.
Good evening, Your Honor, council members. Travis Winter, 2328 North 8th Street. I recently went to a Housing Board of Appeal meeting 2 weeks ago tomorrow to talk about fire extinguishers. And at that meeting, I feel there was some misleading information that was given to the Housing Board of Appeal. And I feel that maybe the city should correct that information that was given and reissue it for their meeting minutes. There seems to be some issues with the codes, ordinances maybe, with fire extinguishers not being very clear. I've asked for clarification on where to find info. It will be 2 weeks tomorrow, and I have yet to get a clear message or a phone call explaining exactly where I can find this information. I feel that there's a lot of codes and ordinances that are messed up and that they need to be fixed, and they should be fixed ASAP. Or just follow the International Property Maintenance Code book, and that would probably correct a lot of the issues. With the International Property Code, there was, there's a lot of people that know a lot of things, spend a lot of time creating that book, and maybe we should just follow that book. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Those are both the yellow cards I received. Is there any other citizens here that would like to address the council? Yes? Come on up. You just have to state your name and your address for the record, please.
Okay. My name is Cindy Dunn, 2000 8th Avenue South, Clinton, Iowa. And I'm here about the removing of the stoplight at North 2nd and 6th Avenue North. I'm just concerned, and I've talked to different people. No one's ever said anything, but we just feel that it's going to be such a busy intersection right there with ball games, Finally Fridays, the Showboat, and we got the new thing coming next year, Tailgate, Tall Boys. And, with kids on bicycles going over to practices or somebody on a wheelchair that wants to get across to these things, there's no light, and it's going to be very busy there. So I didn't know how to go about it, so I did a few names, but, so I just wanted to bring it to see if maybe there could be another discussion over it, or if there isn't.
Yeah, and council, Cindy dropped the petition that's part of the consent agenda off at my house. I provided it to Lisa. It's in the consent agenda, so I planned on pulling that so we could discuss it further at that. We'll discuss it at that.
Okay, that's fine. And I did get some more, but I just, all right.
Okay.
Is that it? All right, well, thank you
Sure.
very much.
All right, thank you. Anybody else that would like to address the council? Okay. Moving on, Councilmember Seeley.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented on the attachment.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on consent agenda?
6H, please. Is 6M need pulled?
6H? Okay. Yeah, we're good. Anything else from council on the consent agenda? No? No? Okay. Anything else from you? No?
I don't know.
All right.
Should there be?
Nope. I'm just asking. One is light for you. Can we please have a roll call vote on the balance of the consent agenda, please?
Councilmember Shemmers.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Councilmember Shemmers. I forgot.
Thank you, Your Honor. I move that we accept the claims that we receive, approve, and place on file for 8/23 of '22, Claims 1, Claims 2, Claims 3, and Claims 4.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the claims? Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Councilmember Oberon.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a resolution accepting bid of Ritmer, Inc., contingent on the city entering into a development agreement with Project MG on or before September 27th, 2022, or the city waiving said requirement regarding the South 54th Street and 36th Avenue South Improvement Project. It's the Iowa DOT project number RM 1415, parentheses 636-9D-23, and it's city project number C 2022. I move this resolution be adopted as presented.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this?
And this is 100% contingent on the necessary pieces, and if those pieces don't fall into place, okay.
Correct.
Did we get confirmation if MG submitted their?
We have not.
We have not. Okay. I know yesterday Matt did not know, so I didn't. Okay.
And what is the deadline?
They were supposed to have their paperwork in yesterday to get on the September meeting. So, but Matt was out yesterday and today, so
Okay.
hopefully in his emails he has a verification of that. Okay. Is there any other discussion on this? All right. Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers. Yes. Seeley.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Councilmember Seeley.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a resolution adopting updated vision statement, mission statement, and value statement for the city of Clinton. I move this be adopted as read.
Second.
All right. We have a motion and a second. Want to read these? Councilmember Seeley?
I would love to.
Awesome.
All right, the city's updated vision statement is a community that strives to stay connected as we continue to grow and prosper. And that took us a long time to get there, but we got it. It didn't really. Our mission statement is the city of Clinton strives to provide a vibrant, safe, sustainable community while creating opportunities for economic growth and tourism. And our core values are ethics, inclusivity, innovation, professionalism, integrity and transparency, fiscal responsibility and accountability, and safety. And as you can see, our value statements, our core values, form a tree.
For Tree City.
For
Yes,
Tree City.
for Tree
No-
City, USA.
And those values are in no particular order.
No.
We just wanted the
No.
design to look like a tree. Our council did.
Yeah.
All right. Does everybody remember? Those are what we had. We don't have no typos or anything like that. Everything's good. Okay. Any other discussion on the on these three? All right. Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Councilmember Shemmers.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a resolution adopting the 2022-2024 strategic plan. I move the resolution be adopted as presented.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the 2022 to 2024 strategic plan?
Yeah, I'd just like to say, well, I mean, we had a lot of interviews last night. There are a lot of people here for this seat, actually. Anybody that wants to see the direction the city is going in the future, this might not be a bad thing to get a copy of, because things come up every year. Sometimes we spend out of the budget, sometimes we're within budget, but there's Actually, there it is right there. A very, very important piece of the future is presented there. Not all of it,
You talking about the bottom boxes there?
but if you're interested on seeing the direction that the city council has adopted, those 2 pages are extremely important to take a look at.
Yeah.
And this meshes with the comprehensive plan that is
Correct.
longer term, too.
And this is just a tool we can use to help guide us in our decisions that kind of fit our vision and our mission. For instance, one of our top priorities is to continue to maintain a strong financial position for the city, and I think we can all agree that that's very important, so.
Also has a nice list on here with the upcoming pavement management schedule,
It does that too, yeah.
which is nice. All right, any other discussion on the strategic plan? All right, can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Councilmember Kearns.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a resolution setting public hearing on the intent to accept offer for city-owned property, Lot 3 and Block 4, Warren and Buell's Addition, south half of 2512 through 2514 Roosevelt Street. I move it be adopted as presented.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this?
I just think it's great that we got another vacant property in the hands of a neighbor.
So it takes the total lot to this, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Because there's 2 lots there? Right?
Right.
I think it's 1 lot, but
Oh, okay.
the neighbors wanted to split it. Well, one neighbor wanted to split it, the other one didn't.
I see, I
So we
see.
sold the first half, and now he bought the second half.
Roger that. Okay. All right. Any other discussion on this? Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers. Yes. Seeley.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Councilmember Mussman.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a resolution approving parking restrictions along the North 2nd Street at the intersection of 6th Avenue North. I move that this be adopted as read.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on this?
Have we notified nearby property owners that the change will come, or?
Greetings, Mayor and Council. 3 of these I've never seen anybody park at. There's parking lots. One of them's a driveway for electronics. The other one's a parking lot for the, I forget the name of the on the northeast corner. It's a something center. And then the restaurant. But then in front of the courthouse there, we will paint the curb yellow for about, it'll take away about 5 spots, put a sign back there, and then they'll still have, 200 foot to park at plus their parking lot. So I don't anticipate it'll create any issues with any of this.
We didn't notify any owners?
Not yet, no. We'll, I suppose we can get out there and notify them all tomorrow what's going on as far as, creating these spots. But I think the only person who would even have any questions would be the courthouse. But like I said, they have a parking lot and a couple hundred more feet to the north of there. Once this is adopted, we'll proceed with
So this ties with the stoplight, though.
Yeah.
6H.
And we didn't notify anybody.
We notified the surrounding owners for the stoplight removal.
Oh, we did do that, okay.
stoplight removal, yeah, but, yeah, that's, this is just a byproduct of that, just making sure that we have clear vision when we pull out, which we should technically have everywhere, and we don't. We don't go around town policing this and setting back, unless we are in the middle of a project, or like this, where we are removing a signal. So. But I mean, literally, I've only ever seen a couple cars parked in that one spot in front of the jail, and I think that was more or less when they were working on the parking lot. But they don't fill that area up there, curb parking.
And just a question, and they will post signs there just to let them know no parking to the...
They'll post signs there.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions, discussion? Thinking?
Well, it ties directly into another conversation we're going to have. You know, this one's before it.
I would suggest that either way, with whatever goes forward, that is needed at that intersection regardless of whether the stoplight is there or not because of the sight distances that have been there.
And you're going to notify property owners tomorrow of your intent.
Well, no, only, I don't have an intent, but I will notify property owners of the resolution's adoption if it's adopted. But certainly, also, I think it's been well publicized that the traffic signal will be removed.
But was it publicized at all that the parking restrictions would change?
No, it has not been. We have not notified one person about this.
Okay.
It just goes along with the traffic signal removal.
Any other questions, discussion? No? Okay. All right. Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers. Yes. Seeley.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Councilmember Oberon.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a resolution authorizing property acquisitions from Habitat for Humanities for 655 6th Avenue South, 657 6th Avenue South, North 3rd Street, it's parcel 86-0510-0300, 334 19th Place, 330 19th Place, 307 18th Place, and 309 18th Place. Move this resolution be adopted as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this?
Just what happens now? What do we do now that we're obtaining properties?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a fair amount. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. At least it's not going delinquent somewhere, but
We should be able to put...
are these going out back, will they go back out to sell like we've been doing?
We'll certainly try to.
Why wouldn't they try to sell them on their own?
That's a good question, too.
They did reach out to adjacent neighbors for these lots to see if they were interested, but these are the ones that they ended up where they did not have interest.
And the best part of this is these are at no cost to the city.
Well, it is a cost
there's a
because we're going to have to
cost,
mow them.
Yeah,
Well,
we
we gotta mow 'em,
maintain
but
them.
We're going to have to shovel sidewalks.
I don't know
and-
that Habitat was probably paying any taxes on, oh, they were. Wow. So now they're off the tax roll. So they're dissolving, they're done, which is a crying shame.
That is
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Now we'll turn around and sell them for $100 or,
We'll
250.
have legal costs associated with
Yeah.
them too, so this is God darn it.
Yeah.
A couple of the lots are pretty good lots.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a shame. That's
Yeah,
Well,
all right.
any other discussion or thoughts?
Just as a going forward thought, if we don't do this, then what will happen is these things will then, go the way that other dropped properties go, and we're going to end up with them anyway.
At a higher cost.
At a higher cost.
True.
We're getting these now at no cost. Yes, we're going to be responsible for maintenance going forward, but at least we're not responsible 6 months from now, 12 months from now, when the grass is, 15 feet high and the snow hasn't been shoveled for, 4 months. It's a shame that, Habitat for Humanity is dissolving, but they had the forethought to say, hey, we need to do something with this because we don't want
Yeah.
the neighborhood to go down. So it's kind of a, it's a way to, and we just need to be, proactive in marketing, seeing if we can get somebody to buy them and build on them.
Yeah. So what are the terms of the agreement? Who's responsible for making sure they have clear title and are saleable properties and getting all the legal work done that is involved with this?
Excellence Dallas has ensured that they'll have clear title prior to us becoming the owner.
But so this will be a cost to us, not to Habitat.
True.
Because will there be purchase agreements coming? How is this? Is it going to be like some sort of quitclaim deed, Pat? What are we doing?
I forgot his email.
Well, I would never recommend a quitclaim.
Pat, are you
I'd
on?
always want
There you
a
are.
warranty
You're on
deed.
mute, sir.
I don't think I am. Can you hear me now?
Steven, can you unmute him? He's not muted. We have no oh, maybe I'm muted. Pat, go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Go ahead, sir.
Can you hear me now?
I don't know how to run this thing.
You're doing a good job.
You're doing a very good job.
Pat, go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So I would never take a quitclaim deed on something unless I was pretty sure it didn't make any difference about our title, clear title, which would be rarely, if ever. I would definitely want a warranty deed. And at a minimum, if I was going to take a quitclaim deed, I'd definitely want a title search or a lien search done to make sure we weren't getting something that was encumbered in some way.
But I guess my question is, Pat, we're going to be responsible for the taxpayers are going to be paying to get all that done for these lots?
What specifically is your question? I'm not following.
Who is going to, thank you, who is going to be responsible for assuring all these properties have clear title and preparing the warranty deeds and abstract stuff, updates, lien searches, all that?
Well, I don't know what transpired prior to this appearing before the council. I wasn't involved directly with it, but normally, we would do that unless we agreed otherwise with the seller.
And that's why I'm asking some questions on this, is because this resolution doesn't give much in terms of details on how this is going to proceed.
Yeah, and if
Attorney
you
Leidinger is
have
working on it
concerns
on
about it,
emails.
we should perhaps postpone to the next meeting so I can investigate and figure out what due diligence we need to do. I don't know if Lisa knows. Did Steve or somebody work on this, Lisa?
Yes, Steve did. He already did title searches, and Habitat for Humanity has prepared a warranty deed for us.
Okay.
Okay, well, if that's the case, then if they're preparing a warranty deed and Steve did a lien and title search, we're good to go.
So we already, all right, it's already started.
Okay.
Questions are irrelevant.
All right. Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Stemmers.
Oh, no. Right? Do you?
No, I was just agreeing with you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Roll call, please.
Okay, now I'm ready, sorry.
Councilmember Stemmers.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Councilmember Davis.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a resolution adopting a complete streets policy.
There you go.
I move that it be adopted as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this? just a heads up too, Zane gave a very nice presentation on this to the Mayor's Youth Commission a few weeks ago.
Yep.
So, very nice. And this went through all the proper committees that it needed to? You don't have to come up. Yeah? Okay, all through. All, just making sure.
Wanted to.
It's all listed in the report, all the committees were presented, but
Beautiful. All right. Any other questions or discussions on this? Okay, can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shedner. Seeley.
Yes.
Davis.
Yay.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kern.
Yes.
Councilmember Davis.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. I have a resolution authorizing application for FY 2022 Safe Streets and Roads for All SS4A discretionary grant funding for implementation of roundabouts along Mill Creek Parkway at the intersections of 16th Street Northwest, 13th Avenue North, and 2nd Avenue South. I move that this resolution be adopted as presented.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this? Go ahead.
Kind of more of a comment. This is only the application. This isn't saying we're doing anything at this time. Correct? And the results of the application won't be for how long?
it'll be just a few months, by the end of the year.
By the end of the year.
Find out, yeah,
Okay, and we don't even know if all three would be accepted by the organization, correct?
Would you want me to approach the,
Yeah, sure.
That would be good, yes.
call this thing anyway?
Podium.
Podium, please.
Hot seat.
Okay, yes, good evening again, Mayor and Council. The application will be submitted before September 15th, and we would only get either a yes to all three or a no to all three. It's a complete grant package for the whole corridor through there. So we tabulated the expected crash reduction factors based on published literature for similar type intersections throughout this corridor. Submitted that. We will submit that as part of this grant application. They will review that against all the other applicants, and they'll go from the top down and award the best, reviewed by the Federal Highway Administration for completeness.
So they would either accept all three or deny, if they denied one, they deny all three.
That's correct. No, they treat it as one project, so it would be all or nothing. And then we would find out, and like I said before, we would find out next spring, or not even next spring, I would say about this time next year, we would potentially enter into a grant agreement or have the option to enter into a grant agreement. This isn't binding to that. It could be a future council, future mayor, future city engineer, whatever by then that could say, we don't want to do this, and then you could just deny the funds.
So even as a result of today, this is not a locked-in concrete thing, because any number of things could happen between now and then.
That's correct, yes.
Thank you.
What, have you talked to the Iowa DOT about this project at all?
Yes.
What are they telling you? You have anything in writing?
About no, they think it's a fantastic project. The local district staff thinks it's a fantastic project. They're supportive of it, and we would.
This is verbal or in writing?
I was around the back table there. We'll also we'll receive a letter of support from the Iowa DOT to include with this grant application as well, but they'd have no reservations about this. And in fact, if we applied, which is what I stated at that public meeting, if we apply this grant through their traffic safety improvement program, which is only a max of $500,000, I mean, I'm 100% confident that we would receive that. So that would end up being part of our local match to this project. But it's a good project from an engineering standpoint for sure.
Okay.
Yep.
Any other discussion or questions?
Well, I like roundabouts. I've talked to a lot of people today about this. I think most people like roundabouts too, but the parkway doesn't seem to be where some people want them.
And so I wasn't going to say anything, but I am. I did talk to Jason because I believe that Harts Mill and 19th Avenue North are absorbing a lot of the other traffic in town, and I think they're going to end up being two of the worst. And Jason said, well, we'll just do 5 if we have to. And I don't even want 1 on the Parkway. So I think 5 is way overstating what we need on the Parkway.
Well, I sent
I
out,
think 3's pretty high.
I sent
for what we
out a
need on the
bunch of
Parkway.
random messages, and it was about 60-40. 60% against, 40 were like, yeah.
Can I just clarify one thing? Yes, the only reason these 3 are included is because these are the 3 that present the highest safety problem now.
Yep.
So, like, we haven't had, not that we won't, but we haven't had as much accident history at Hartsmill Road and 19th Avenue. There's better sight distance there. They're not on curves and awkward, skewed angles. So that's why we're not presenting those. I'm not saying at some point we won't. That's what Rhonda was saying too. So.
One more question while you're up here, Jason, because you've mentioned this before. You said these roundabouts can be expanded, but if it were hypothetically ever to be a 4-lane road, how would a roundabout placed specifically where 2 lanes are be able to expand to another section, you know, a little ways away?
Yeah, that's a good question because I don't think, I mean, it's not that they couldn't be, but I believe and like I said at the public meeting, if traffic in Clinton were ever expected to, double out there, if we had a good reason for economic development and funding and support from the Iowa DOT to make it a 4-lane road, this could be 5 years from now or 50 years from now. I don't know. We would simply remove the roundabouts and pave a 4-lane road. That would be the least of our problems. Those bridges, we would have to build new bridges at Harts Mill and Mill Creek that would cost 10 to 20 times as much as just removing roundabouts. So if we have a 4-lane road, it would probably be for economic development purposes and traffic and expected traffic, and we would have interchanges, and I think we would remove the roundabouts. But that would be
so
the
these
least of our
roundabouts
worries.
won't be designed to
No.
to potentially
I don't
accommodate.
believe so, but I think they could be expanded. But if we have, like I said, I'll just repeat myself, if we had a 4-lane road, we wouldn't probably want the roundabouts. We would want interchanges at those same intersections.
Okay.
Councilmember Shimmers.
Just one last, theoretically, the Iowa DOT should be taking over these roads, hopefully, and we may not have that much of a say-so at that point anyways. Am I right?
Yeah, and we talked about at the same meeting.
Because, I mean, our
that I
goal has
referenced.
been to turn this road over so we can get Main Street back on our,
That's the goal of the city and the Iowa DOT.
Correct.
So at that same meeting that I referenced,
Is that in our goal planning session?
it was discussed, I don't know.
I've never been privy to the
The only thing that I
conversations.
remember being in
I
any
keep
CIP
hearing that the city's goal, but I've never discussed it with
it's not, I
anybody.
guess it's not my goal. It's, I thought that had been discussed before, but it's a possibility. I've talked to Dave Rose. It's Dave Rose's initiative mainly.
I think it's been in the CIP to finish.
Well, we were supposed to be in negotiations to be purchasing the rest of the 2 properties on the north end, so that would give us the clear cut, at which time we were going to enter in, and I know there's been discussions on turning this road over to the Iowa DOT,
Yeah.
so we could go back and take back Main Street, which we don't have jurisdiction on.
I guess I shouldn't say it's a goal of the current council if it's not. I mean, I don't speak for
Well-
you guys, but it's definitely a possibility. But it is a goal to complete, as I remember, the north leg of Mill Creek Parkway and buy those properties and complete that. But the Iowa DOT is open to, I should say, the Iowa DOT is definitely open to transfer jurisdiction because they don't want to maintain a highway through the city. And they have it doesn't matter to them whether there's roundabouts there or not, as far as it pertains to the traffic or the transfer of jurisdiction.
Okay.
All right.
Is there any time schedule for transfer of jurisdiction, or?
No, not at all, no. The only thing that is on the 10-year plan is a potential extension of Mill Creek Parkway to Highway 67.
The only I can add to that is, I mean, it has been in discussion. Now, there was no timeline, and you're right, maybe that just slipped maybe my mind or everybody's mind when that came up for our strategic planning, but that was one of the ideas of getting the other two pieces of property at the north end. So we did have the potential to return this back over to the DOT. Now, at the end of the day, a lot's going to depend if Iowa wants to purchase or to complete the road.
Right.
They may not want it until we complete it. And I know, you can correct me if I'm wrong, the way Mill Creek is currently sitting, it doesn't meet today's standards. So that would have to be a lot of convincing, because we'd have to go back through and kind of bring it up to today's standards if they wanted us to do so before they took jurisdiction on it.
Well, that would all have to be part of a negotiation. I mean, it would be.
But that's been part of the conversations I've heard, I guess, is.
There are things they would want before they take it over.
I will say this about the application. I understand, like you brought up, that, and Jason, that we could turn it down if we decided, or a different council decided they didn't want it. But I think right now, voting on this, it's going to be pretty tough for a council to turn down for $3.36 million if this were to come to fruition. So in my opinion, I feel like you kind of are determining whether or not you want these roundabouts on there. And I am a proponent of roundabouts. I like them. I really do. I'm not sure about the Parkway. I can't be. I'm not convinced one way or the other yet. I understand the safety aspect, and I don't want someone to die at one of those intersections before we do something. But I don't know. I just not sure if they're right for out there, or maybe 3 at a time. Maybe they're not right. Maybe we should ease into it more. I don't know. That's just my thoughts in my head. I'm not, like I said, I'm not against roundabouts at all. I don't mind them. I feel like with this application, if it's approved tonight and we put it in, and in 3 months or so, you get it and it comes back. I mean, if anybody was, you're going to pay $340,000 and they're going to give you, $3.8 million, why wouldn't you turn that, or why would you turn that down? Does that make sense? So I think it is more than just approving the application.
And I don't disagree with you. Here's the thing, though. I didn't realize it was an all or nothing, meaning all three.
Yeah.
As opposed to you either get all three or you don't get any. I didn't realize that. I thought there was still you could get one, maybe you could get two,
right.
Or maybe you only want one as opposed to taking all three.
Right, and that's kind of where I'm at. I don't know if all three make sense, and I don't know. That's just my thoughts as I'm looking at this. As I drive that road a lot, and I understand there's traffic issues. I sat at 13th a couple weeks ago, and I was there for quite some time. I almost probably had a chance to call you and have a conversation while I was sitting there, but
that wouldn't be good.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it as I'm thinking through this. So, any other discussion, comments?
I'm with you on we're making a decision here with the grant application that we are in favor of a project. I'm of the opinion that if we're making application for whatever dollar amount, whether it's $10,000 or $100,000 or whatever, we're making the statement that we are in agreement what this is going on, going forward. I have always been, I guess Bill and I saw this a little bit differently, because I always saw that it was the 3 or nothing. I mean, that's what I saw when it was first presented. Hey, we're presenting the 3 unit. It wasn't A, B, or C, or A plus C, or B plus C. It was all 3. So that, I mean, maybe we saw something different there, for sure. But the big piece about it is I don't think it's about, whether you like roundabouts or don't like roundabouts, or where they're going with the thing that I'm looking at 100% is the safety. We are looking at intersections that, in my mind, have severe incidents. And are the number of incidents going to reduce? No. If we had 15 accidents at that intersection with roundabouts, we're still going to have 15 accidents at that intersection. The difference is the severity of those accidents are now going to be quite less because it's going to be sideswiping type of incidents rather than T-bones and head-on kind of incidents. I see that as the major driving force of what a roundabout does, regardless of where it's at, you know, whether it's, you know, on the Parkway or anywhere else in town. The safety of that is going to reduce the cost of those accidents. Yes, eventually it'll reduce my insurance costs because now our insurance costs for our community are going to go down. So mine is going to go down a little bit too. I mean, it's going to take 5 years for that to come into fruition, but that's why I'm in favor of what we're doing here.
Okay. Can we get a truck driver's opinion? Because that seems to be one of the things I've got information from.
From a truck driver standpoint, no, I'm not in favor of them, especially on a bypass. But, you know, that bypass.
No, just talking to us.
Oh, that bypass at the moment doesn't have a lot of truck traffic on it.
Right.
So it wouldn't make that much difference until it was completed. Trucks being in roundabouts, if they're not designed right, they're worthless. And it all goes into design, but I haven't found one yet in my travels throughout the United States that accommodates to a 75-foot long truck.
Okay. Okay. All right. Any other comments or discussion on this? Nope. Okay. Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers.
Yes.
Seeley.
No.
Davis.
Yes.
Obrin.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
No.
4-2. So motion passes. All right. Councilmember Kearns.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a resolution approving 2-year service agreement from Leslie Electric Incorporated for the traffic control and street lighting system maintenance and repair for fiscal years 2023 and 2024. I move it be adopted as presented.
All right. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this? All right. Can we have? Oh, sorry.
Just one little quick question. Whoops, sorry. This is basically a continuation of what we're currently doing. Is there anything, I didn't read anything major or even incidental that changed from the current condition outside of, you know, some cost?
I think it was just some cost changes.
Just some cost changes, right? That's what I saw too.
Right, Jason? Yeah.
When you reviewed that, she said it was just a few minor inflation related.
Right.
Nothing.
Okay.
So was that good luck with that?
Yep. Right. Okay. Any other discussion on this? Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Obrin.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Councilmember Shimmers.
Should I table this one, sir?
Postponed to 2024.
I have a resolution approving appointment of at-large council member. I move the resolution be adopted as read.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. I think we had enough discussion last night, but
Can we revote?
any more discussion?
No, you can't, all right.
Go ahead.
Just one thing, you know, that we brought up last night that we need to bring up here in forum too is that we had 6 wonderful candidates. 6
Outstanding.
very outstanding candidates. Very good thing. We hope that going forward that all those applicants continue to be involved in our city. We'd like to see them at this table going forward. We'd like to see them at other tables that we have available, you know, the different boards and commissions especially. There was just 6 very, very good candidates that really spoke to how people care about what's going on in our community now.
For sure.
Agree.
Do we need to make an amendment to the motion so there's a name in there?
The one that's ready for your signature will have a name. We just
Okay.
had to have a placeholder.
Okay. And so the council did approve Mr. Pat Detterman last
Well,
night.
not officially, not yet.
Well, they voted to appoint last night. This is the formality of the approval, which I hope will pass.
So this resolution, we're
We can still put it on hold.
so this resolution needs to state his name, right?
Yeah, she said.
She said that the one that I'll sign will have his name on there.
Okay.
So, all
That's right.
right. Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers,
Yes.
Seeley,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Oberon,
Yes.
Musman,
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Congratulations.
All right.
Congratulations, Pat.
We'll get the swear in here in a minute, right? Councilmember Oberon.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a ordinance for the third consideration.
Please read the title.
An ordinance amending Chapter 152 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Clinton, Iowa pertaining to smoke detectors.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this? All right. Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers.
Yes.
Seeley,
Abstain?
Davis,
Yes.
Oberon,
Yes.
Musman,
Yes.
Kearns.
No.
Okay, moving to unfinished business. What is it? 6H.
6H?
Okay, let me find that. It's double duty tonight is handling this computer.
So this is the
6H.
the petition on the stoplight.
Okay. All right. Councilmember, your discussion.
Oh,
You pulled it.
Well, some nice folks in our community filed a petition, and we need to consider their concerns.
Okay. So this is in regards to this stoplight, 6th Avenue North 2nd Street. It's currently flashing at the moment. It's scheduled to come out the 31st is what's scheduled. Do you have some more concerns that you'd like to share? Or? Yes? Okay. Come on, just state your name and your address for the record for us, please.
I'm Chris Voss. I'm from Clinton, and I've heard about this, the street light being removed, and I called and actually talked to Jason about it. He said it was something that the DOT voted on, and I guess my concern as a citizen of Clinton, and I've lived here my whole life, it seems like decisions are made either through the council or through the street department or whatever, without getting any feedback from the community. And this kind of upsets me because, I realize you have a mission, and but it's very disheartening to know that some things are passed without really getting feedback from the citizens. And I think if you talk to a lot of the people, they're against it. And I guess that's my concern. I mean, I was talking with Cindy, and she asked if I would come here with her just for support. And my concern is, if we have a child on a bicycle trying to cross 2nd Street to go to baseball, minor league practice, it is hard to cross 2nd Street when you're over on, is it 7th Avenue South with the three-way intersection by El Toro there? It's hard to turn left when you're at the courthouse to get onto 2nd Street. So I can only imagine how congested it's going to be, for a child trying to go across 2nd Street to get over to Riverfront. So I'm really concerned about that, and, who is liable, like if there is an accident, if there's a T-bone, or if a child is, hit on a bicycle from a car that, I mean, who's liable for that? And is that a decision that you guys are willing to take on, that, if somebody's injured, are you going to feel comfortable with that decision? That's all I have to say.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
So.
Go ahead.
This is directly to Christy, but to everybody else too. I just happened to be at the Traffic Safety Committee when this intersection came up. I'm not usually there, but I just happened to be there. And that is a board made up of citizens of Clinton. And I was surprised myself when this intersection came up, everybody but one person in that room was all for it. Like actually one of the comments was, it's about time that comes out. So and the other part to that is that we do take the recommendations from our boards and commissions, which is why we encourage citizens to be on them. We take them very serious. And so this was one that was, it was hands down. They wanted it gone.
Is it the expense? Like, I guess,
They don't
what's
consider
the
that.
number one reason?
The city might consider that, but they don't consider that. They find it to be an inconvenience, and after I heard this, I drove down the next day to that intersection, because it turns and you sit there when there's cars there or not. So they find it to be an inconvenience to drive down 2nd Street.
I myself go from 7th Avenue and I purposely turn so that I can hit that street light so I can turn left onto 2nd Street heading, when I'm heading east. I purposely go to that intersection so I can get across, because otherwise you might be standing sitting at that stop sign for quite a while. So, and then the other thing is with this tailgate and tall boys, when we do have huge events or finally Fridays, is there going to be a police presence then directing traffic?
Probably so.
Yes, and just that road will be closed during the tailgates and tall boys. There won't be any traffic on it.
Okay.
So
at what expense then to the taxpayers when you're removing a street light, but then you're going to have to hire street, like law enforcement it just seems like to me that's an extra expense.
we did discuss a little bit about traffic control, and I think some of the comments, the ball games usually get over later, where there's a little bit less traffic on 2nd Street. Some of them during the week. So I think that was discussed as far as the traffic control stuff. And I know police chief was pretty determined that if we had a big event and we needed traffic control, his crew would be there. So we would just need to coordinate that. But I understand the concerns that you have as well, that have been brought up. So,
Okay.
but yeah, I don't know. I guess council,
I didn't think about the kids going to the practice, but I know that's in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Well,
it could be during a busier time. It could be during a busier time.
Could be.
the light's there. Is it that big a deal if it just stays? Let's be real. If people are concerned about it, it's there. It doesn't cost anything to leave it there. It's not even really controversial in my mind. If citizens want it there, I think it should just stay there.
Lisa, do you know how many letters we've gotten on this topic? I know not just this petition, but I know there were.
Just seen a few emails
couple of
that
other-
council has shared that they've received on it.
Can I make a motion as part of this? Can I do that?
So there's a resolution approving removal right now?
Well, the light
I think
will be taken down before the next meeting. So I was going to make a motion to not remove that light.
You could do a motion to direct
But,
staff to delay action.
Can I do that right here, right
Let's
now?
ask our handy attorney. Hold on, Pat. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
So technically, you'd have to do a formal resolution rescinding the original resolution, because you'd have to do it with the same formality that you did it the last time. But since we can't do that, we don't have a resolution on the agenda, what I think you could do is just make a motion to direct staff not to enforce the resolution until we can meet again and rescind it by resolution. Does that make sense?
Thank you, Pat.
Did this go through a resolution?
Yes,
Jason?
it was approved at the July 12th council meeting.
Yes.
Well, if any other councils
What-
will entertain a motion to direct staff to not fulfill the resolution pertaining to this light, I'll make that motion.
You're making a motion?
Yes, sir.
Yep. Okay, so we have a motion, a second, to direct staff to not enforce the resolution that was approved, you say July 12th? July 12th, until we can,
Only pertaining
Meet
to this
again.
particular light.
this particular 6th Avenue North and 2nd Street. Okay? That sums your motion up and the second? Okay? Councilmember Oberon, go ahead.
I'm not quite sure. We're going to just stop it for the time being to research it more? Is that what your intent is?
I think we'll have to take formal action on it the next council meeting, but this, based on my conversation with Mr. Kraft, would be removed prior to our next meeting.
Correct.
So we're just putting it on hold until then.
No, so basically what this motion is doing is telling staff to not enforce the removal of the light, because that would be before the next meeting. And then the next meeting would need to have a resolution on there that would be rescinding the previous resolution that was passed, and then council would have to vote on that motion. Does everybody, so everybody understands the motion?
So I guess
that's
it
on there?
does give you 2 more weeks to think about it, but yeah, essentially it would.
Gives you 3,
It would
actually.
delay the contractors from removing the light.
Unless it doesn't pass.
Unless it does
Unless
not
it doesn't
pass.
pass, correct, yes.
Yeah.
You'd have 3 weeks, so I gave you an extra week off before the next meeting. All right. Okay, so everybody understands the motion that's there in the second? Okay. Any other discussion on this before we vote? All right, can we have roll call, please? So, we are going to,
You're gonna have to wait 2 weeks.
yep.
Right now, we're on.
So
the-
we're gonna,
Right now, we're on the motion I proposed.
yes. So we're gonna vote on the motion that's proposed and that you seconded, and then we will have to have another vote to
accept the
to accept the petition into the consent agenda, because that was put on there. So, all right. So can we have roll call on the motion by Councilmember Seeley, seconded by Councilmember Shimmers?
Councilmember Shimmers.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Davis.
No.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Okay, so motion passes to direct staff to not remove the light, and this will be brought up on a resolution at the next council meeting, which is September 12th, I believe, or 13th? 13th, okay? All right, and then...
Your Honor, I will make a motion to accept the petition filed by the citizens.
Okay. All right, we have a motion and second to accept 6H on the consent agenda. Is there any discussion on that? Okay, can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shimmers.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
All right, we have one last item of business on the business meeting, and that is to, what's that? Yeah, can we? We're gonna take a break till September 13th? All right. Pat, come on up front with me here.
I don't know if this thing works. Well, thank you. Sounds like I might need it.
Yep, it's working.
Sounds like I might need it. You might need it. I personally don't need it. No, I do not need it.
This will make sure the citizens hear you at home, so that you
Oh,
can't,
that's true,
so that
yeah.
you can't deny that you did this. All right?
Absolutely. That's true.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Pat Detterman,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all of the duties
discharge all of the duties
of the office of counsel at large,
one more time.
of the office of counsel at large,
Counsel at large,
to fill a vacancy
to fill a vacancy
in the city of Clinton,
in the city of Clinton,
as now or hereafter required by law.
now or hereafter required by law. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. All right. Got it.
You're in
So,
charge of that, Rhonda.
You need to sign your life away right there.
Okay.
Or at least the next year, right?
Next year, anyway. We'll get some more.
Oh, I think I cut your heads off. Oh, well.
You can stage a picture afterwards.
Congratulations.
All right.
Got that one. When I went, that one's all right.
Councilmember Seeley.
Thank you, Your Honor. I move we adjourn to September 13th, 2022 at 5 p.m. sharp.
Okay, we are adjourned.